Welcome to the Let's Get Cozy Book Club podcast. This week we're chatting about our initial thoughts on the Jane Austen Society by Natalie Jenner. So grab a blanket, a warm beverage, and cozy up.
Yay!
Yay! I made it.
I'm so happy you're here, Liza. I wasn't sure if we were going to be recording today.
Yes, I am currently in London, and so we have a little new setup with a new microphone. We're trying things out, seeing if we can make it work abroad, and so far so good.
Yeah. So I'm the only Pinzak sister not abroad at the moment. I'm a little sad. I'm kind of jealous. Your trips looked really fun.
We were sad you weren't here. We've been having a very good time. We went someplace you had never even heard of. So we went to the Cotswolds to see Jeremy Clarkson's farm, which is a TV show on Amazon Prime. It's free. It's amazing. Highly recommend it. But Lydia has never seen it.
I don't know what this is at all.
I'm like, what? There's 4 seasons, and a new season's coming out in May. It's great.
Oh, so they're still filming.
They're still filming. They'll probably film. So Jeremy Clarkson, I don't know, he's like kind of a comedian. He did the Grand Tour, which is like about him and his friends. They like did car reviews, and it was great. Like they would go on these trips in like all over the world, and they would each bring a car, and then they would just like drive it around these random places like Africa, South America, like all over, and it was hilarious. And they're just kind of really funny guys.
Okay.
It's great.
Cool. So he has a farm?
He has a farm called Diddley Squat, and we went to the Diddley Squat farm shop, which is very cute. It was a little smaller than what the TV made it. So he lives in the Cotswolds, which are like these like pretty stone buildings, and then there's like the thatch roofs, and like all the rich people apparently live there because it's like not too far from London, but it's like not in London, so they can have
it's the country.
It's the country home.
Yes, we have your cottages.
Yes, I mean it's he has like a pretty big mansion. He on the Grand Tour.
Yeah.
He blew up his old house so he could rebuild basically, and then like he has like a lot of like friction with like the local government because he kind of likes to do things his own way. And to like preserve the beauty of the Cotswolds, you have to do things in like a very strict way. And so he's like always fighting with them, and it's hilarious. And he opened a bar, which we also went to, called the Farmer's Dog, which I didn't realize this. So before he bought it, so behind the bar was like this picnic area where all the farmers went to dog it or to have
beers.
No, to have sex. They all went there and were dogging it or shagging in the park. And so now
Wait, I did not get that. Okay. Interesting.
And so they got rid of that part of the park so that he would buy the land. Because, like, you have, like, you're sitting outside drinking, you know, a beer, and then there's some people dogging.
Shagging in the back.
Right
Wow.
in the background, in the woods. And so he kept the name The Farmer's Dog as, like, tongue-in-cheek reminder of, the place that he bought it from. So, yeah.
That's hilarious.
And we had, like, the best burgers ever. We got burgers and fries from there, and they were delicious.
Great.
Possibly our best meal of the trip.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Are we getting into all the other parts of the trip, or do you want to wait till you return?
We can do whatever.
What are you feeling?
I can talk more.
Let's do all, like, the London stuff. Well, you're still in London, though, yeah? When do you come back?
Come back on Wednesday, so I have a couple more days.
Okay. Why don't you tell us about Paris, then? And then we'll finish up in London next time.
Okay. Paris. It was actually quite lovely. I was pretty nervous because the previous time that I visited there, people were not super friendly because I couldn't speak French, and I like needed help with directions and things, and it was very challenging. But no, we had a great time. We saw the Eiffel. It was twinkling. It was very lovely.
Beautiful.
We had really good weather, which was nice.
That's
it was
good. Yeah.
60s and sunny. It was very nice. And we went to Versailles, which was...
Love that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, we rented a golf cart, which was hilarious. Because there's, like, big gardens in the back, like, really big gardens. It took us, like, an hour and a half with a golf cart to go to, like, a few... like
That's
extra
so funny.
Places in the garden.
You rented a golf cart. I love it.
I don't think they had that when I was there like over 10 years ago. And I mean, it was super fun. Mm-hmm. A lot of people did it. We were not the only ones. So. Not like the lazy Americans who like can't walk the gardens. No, like a lot of people had them. It was a thing. And it was pretty cool.
Fun. That's so awesome. What else did you guys do in Paris? Anything? Any shopping? Any fun foods? Did you get some macarons?
We had macarons in the hotel. I couldn't really eat a lot of the pastries, but Lily was on a hunt for croissants, and they had like 2 okay ones.
Oh.
The best one she's ever had was in London. We did a little shopping. We like looked around. And
you went to the Louvre.
We went to the Louvre, of course, and saw Mona Lisa, which is a really big museum, which was pretty cool. And yeah, it was a good time. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would, so I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah.
Good. That's fun. Aw. So fun. Happy for you guys. A little sad for myself.
I know.
It's fine.
It was kind of hard timing with everything going on in your life at the moment.
Yes. And that's okay because Kyle and I are going to London in like a month and a half. So yeah. So we'll get our chance to do that stuff. We're not doing Paris, but yeah. It'll be good.
What have you been up to?
Kind of the same old. House hunting continues. We've lost out on a few more places. But we're going to put in another offer today and see what happens. So we're really excited. This one's in Logan Square, which is where we currently are at.
Oh, so, nice.
Yeah, which we love the neighborhood. So fingers crossed. We'll see. And try not to get too swept up in the emotions of it. And then I started my new job, which has been good. Still kind of getting up to speed and learning everything, but yeah, it's been a nice change of pace and learning all the corporate jargon and lingo, and yeah, it's been pretty good. So I'm excited.
Think you'll have more like not crazy hours, or is it seasonal, or is it?
I think it's like it'll still be busy, but it won't be like as busy as I was. I think like lunch hours like very respected, and like not as many like weekends, which is great. So yeah, I think people like try to stick to business hours, which is great. So I am enjoying that for sure. So
some boundaries.
Yeah. Boundaries are good. And then I've also started marathon training now that it's got a little bit nicer out. So getting out there and running in the morning. And so not quite as exciting as London and Paris and the Cotswolds, but lots of good changes. And yeah.
Yeah. Are we ready to kind of get into this book that I...
What, you don't like it?
I do not like it at all.
What? But, really?
I mean...
I think it's cute. I like it.
Okay.
I read up to... You're a little further than me, it looks like. I read up to page 124, which was just before the first official meeting of the Jane Austen Society. Okay. So it kind of took us a while to get there, but yeah.
Yes, and I read up to page like 150, which is there's some
like halfway.
There's like some Christmas party at the mansion or the house, the Jane Austen house, and so they're looking at the books.
Cool. Okay. Do you want to give us the recap?
I'll get into the recap. So, the book begins before World War II when a Jane Austen fan visits Chawton, which is a population of 377 people, to see where Jane lived, and she finds her grave, and this woman starts crying because she's such a big fan. Which I'm like, what? And we later find out that this woman is the famous actress Mimi Harrison, who gets a local farmer named Adam Berwick to start reading Jane Austen. And basically, like a bunch of other people in this little town are also obsessed with Jane Austen and all love reading her books and rereading her books. Like, that's all they do. They just reread her books. And they all have, like, pretty severe trauma from surviving multiple, like, World War I and World War II. And right after the war, the local school teacher, which was Adeline Grover, loses her husband in the war, but she's pregnant, and then, like, after the war, the baby dies in childbirth, and then so she's super sad and depressed, and Adam thinks that, like, a way to cheer her up would be, like, creating this nonprofit, or like a museum, basically. So when people come to visit, they can see the Jane Austen Museum of, like, some of her books and things and that sort of stuff. And so, yes, so they start this group of locals trying to create a nonprofit to honor Jane Austen.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much it so far. And
there's lots of tea drinking. So you did get the word right.
Yeah.
Give me the tea.
Give me the tea. There's lots of tea drinking. Everyone is super sad and depressed after this war. This town has been through a lot. But yeah, I also did a little background research. That's a stretch. I did some Googling on Jane Austen because I didn't remember a lot about her. I think the only book I read is Pride and Prejudice. Have you read any of the other ones?
High school. Yes. High school. I think it was senior year or junior year. It was.
Have you read any of the other ones?
Possibly. I don't think I ever finished them because they're very long and
very hard to read.
Boring.
Yeah.
But I'm not the biggest Jane Austen fan, so
you're not?
To each their
own.
That's
kind of surprising. Okay. So Jane Austen, she is an English writer. She was an English writer. She was known primarily for her 6 novels, which interpret and critique and comment on English nobility and, like, land ownership and social classes at, like, the end of the 18th century. So the plots, at least from my research, I only read Pride and Prejudice, like, explore, like, women's role in society and, like, how marriage is used for, like, creating, like, social standing and, like, dowries and economic security and social classes and things like that. And so she uses it and irony and, like, through, like, the characters, she kind of, like, critiques that part of society. So she wrote 6 books. She started writing in her 20s, and she was published when she was 35. But the books are Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Mansfield Park, Emma, Northanger Abbey, and Persuasion. So those are the 6 books. She wrote them all, I think, in Chawton, where she lived with, like, her brother and, like, mother and sisters for, like, the last, like, 8 years of her life. And she like, wrote these books while she was, like, suffering from some
mysterious
strange illness at the time, and she died at 41. So yeah, from what they now think is Addison's disease, which I don't know what that is, but yeah.
I don't know
So
what that is
that's Jane Austen. I think everyone has to read like Pride and Prejudice in high school or something like that. It's like
Required
one of the
reading,
classics. Yeah. And I like that book, but like there was a character named Lydia in it, which I thought was funny.
Oh, was there?
She's like, yes, you know, she's like the sister who like runs away with the like
the priest?
No, he was like I feel like he was like an officer in the army. She like runs away with him and they have to like run around like town trying to find her because they're like, she's gonna ruin like our family name if she like is,
Oh, I don't remember.
you know, has relations with this man. And then they find her and then they force her to marry him.
Oh,
You know, Mr. Darcy
yeah, I
finds
know Mr.
her
Darcy.
and he like, yeah, forces them to get married to save the family name. Sort of
I
thing.
don't remember that, but
Okay, well,
thank you for that, because that's helpful. That might be happening in this book. I don't really know.
I feel like, so I do feel like there are a lot of like clues and probably characters who are based on Jane Austen books that we're like not
100%.
picking up.
100%.
That. And there's like a lot of like, they discuss like some of like the lines and like, you know, the dialogue between the characters in the Jane Austen books. And it's probably like,
It's going over my head because it means
Yeah, it's going over
absolutely
my head,
nothing.
too. Yeah, so maybe we'll be able to figure it out by the end a little bit, but I'm not sure. I think having not read a lot of Jane Austen books, it's a little challenging, but I don't know.
We were wondering, like, do you really like Jane Austen, and that's why you picked this book?
I do. I feel like I do. I'm kind of like inspired to maybe read Emma. They would talk about that one a lot. I haven't, but I don't know.
Well, you could
don't
come
know.
visit Chawton when you come to
Yeah,
London.
maybe I will. Maybe I will.
It's kind of far. I looked into it.
You did? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's an hour and a half car or train ride from London.
Oh, that's not too bad.
I mean, I don't
Okay.
know. But just an idea.
Maybe I will. So yeah, I think like I like it so far though. I think it's cute.
All right, well, that's good. Well, I didn't know that apparently, this is a quote from the book, that certain books really help patients with trauma, but for some reason, Jane Austen is the ones like that is really recommended, and it has helped a lot of the characters through their trauma, which I was like, huh, who knew? So if you are needing to process
like
some
true.
trauma,
Yeah.
maybe read some Jane Austen books. She will cure all. She's therapy when there wasn't therapy.
Yeah, I feel like maybe like books themselves can help patients with trauma. I don't know about Jane Austen specifically, but yeah. I think like the theme is like books can like bring people together and like create like a community when you like need that. I think is more like the message there.
Oh,
than
okay.
like healing your trauma.
Through Jane Austen.
Yeah. That's
Never
probably
know.
more the message. But have you seen the movie? It's called the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society.
No, I've never heard of this.
It's on Netflix. It's a really good movie. So I would recommend it. It's also a book too, I think. But it's kind of the same, whereas like the historical fiction, it's like a group of like people in a small town in England that are in Guernsey, which is like an island, I think, off of somewhere in the UK. Lily would know. And it's like under Nazi occupation in like World War II, but these like group of people like try to like pass like messages to each other, but they say that they're in like a book club, so like the Nazis don't know what they're doing, kind of thing. So it's kind of like that, and then this like
books.
Yeah, and it's like this author. She is from London, and she like goes to Guernsey like after World War II to discover, and then like interviews each of them and like asks them what this society was all about, kind of thing. So you kind of like discover the story of the society through that lens. So it kind of reminds me of that, and it's a really good movie, so I would recommend it. But I like little like historical fiction in like little small towns. I think it's cute.
Okay.
But yeah. So, anywho, let's talk about the characters.
There is a lot of characters, so yeah,
yes.
Let's do it. So, should we start with Adam?
Yeah.
Okay, he's a farmer. Okay, so he's a farmer who didn't want to be a farmer. He was studying to go to like college and got accepted. He was very smart. He loved literature. But then both of his brothers died in World War I. And then a year later, his dad died of the Spanish flu. So it's just him and his mom, and he had to take care of the farm. They lost the farm and had to sell it to the Knights. And now he works for the Knights taking care of the farm. And then once he meets what's her name? Mimi. Once he meets Mimi, he starts reading Jane Austen books. And yeah, that's kind of him.
Yes,
he's kind of depressed.
So he didn't used to read Jane Austen, despite being from Chawton. But then like seeing Mimi's like emotion over an obsession with Jane Austen was like, oh, maybe I should start reading it. So now he's obsessed. And he's obsessed with like Elizabeth Bennet from Pride and Prejudice. Like that's his favorite character. So I feel like maybe, I don't know, if one of the characters are going to emulate what Elizabeth Bennet's characters
ends up with Mr. Darcy. Which man is Mr. Darcy?
But he's like not Mr. Darcy. Like Mr. Darcy's like super wealthy.
He is not. He is poor. Poor man.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that's going to turn out, but we'll see. So the other...
Do you know how old is he about ages? 30s, 40s?
I cannot tell.
Okay.
Ages. I think 30s, 40s.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that was the vibe I was getting to.
Because it like started just before World War II, where they were like kind of really young, and then now it's like post, and they're a little older, right? Yeah. So the next is Adeline Grover. She's the school teacher. She was like very ahead of her time in terms of like, curriculum that she was pushing. She was, really progressive. And all the like trustees on like the school board were like, why are you doing this? And she like made all the boys read Jane Austen books. They like hated it. So then she marries her like childhood friend, and then he dies in the war while she's pregnant with the baby, and then the baby dies in childbirth, and she is having a rough go. She is very depressed and grieving, and a huge Jane Austen fan. So that's her. And
so, we can get into Dr. Gray, who is in love with Adeline, and I think so. Dr. Gray sounds like he's in his 40s, 50s. He's older, and he's the only doctor in this small town, and he lost his wife a few years ago when she fell down the stairs and hit her head and died. And he has a lot of shame because he couldn't save her. Yeah. And then...
That was kind of like, wait, what?
Like, what? Oh, okay. Oh, that was funny you put this in there. That him and his wife used to go to the Weepies together, which were like rom-coms, was my
they're like what they used to call like rom-coms back then, the Weepies.
Weepies. He's in love with Adeline, and they like to discuss Jane Austen books together. And, this was interesting. So Adeline is like, make the pain go away, and he's like, okay, and he gives her morphine, and so she's drinking the morphine, and then he goes home and then he drinks the morphine. So I'm like, I couldn't tell if he's addicted to morphine and he's been doing this because he's experienced what either it's because his experience with Adeline has happened because like he's been depressed since his wife's died, or now he's super depressed because Adeline's depressed and like he's afraid he's going to also lose Adeline, so he's taking the morphine to numb the pain.
I think it's both, probably, but yeah.
He's abusing drugs, basically.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah. Everyone's kind of in a rough state. And then his, like, nurse who helps him, her name is Harriet, and she's, like, the town gossip and, like, in everybody's business, and just kind of, like, randomly appears. So I think she's going to be, like, an important character.
Yes, and I pictured her like some old woman, but she's the same age as Dr. Gray and like wants, like she's into him and like wants to marry him. And like she's like jealous that he's into Adeline, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. But the next character is Miss Knight. Her name's Frances. She's a little bit older. I think she is like Dr. Gray's age, though, right? They all seem to be like school age friends.
But they make it seem like she's super old, but she's not. I don't think not that old.
Like 40s, maybe 50s. But she has agoraphobia, so she's like afraid to leave the house. So she lives in Chawton House, so her family is like distant relatives of Jane Austen's family. Her dad is like the owner of the estate, which includes like the cottage where Jane Austen lived in. And that was like passed down through Jane Austen's brother, I think. Her dad, like Mr. Knight, is old and crotchety and dying, and he like hates Frances because she never got married and never had children. So he like changes his will like right at the end before he dies and like leaves her nothing and is like, I'm just gonna give everything to the next male heir. So I feel like this has to be like part of a Jane Austen book, right? I feel like this scenario must be, yeah. So he changes his will right at the end. The lawyer is there, Andrew, and then Harriet, the nurse, is like also there taking care of him. And like those were the two witnesses of his will changing. So I feel like that's going to come up again for sure. But Frances is having a rough go. She doesn't leave the home. She's really sad. And she like cares about Jane Austen and like preserving like the family legacy, but she doesn't know she's been like cut out of like the will or anything yet. So yeah. But she like eavesdrops on everybody while they're like talking.
She used to be very social and all of that, but then like her brother died in, I don't know if it was in the war. He died in some like horse tragic accident. And mom died somehow. Yeah. So anyways, she's stuck with her crotchety old father.
But she's got nothing, so yeah. And then so Andrew's the lawyer. He takes care of the Chawton estate. He is in love with Frances, apparently. Everyone's like secretly in love with each other. But not telling them, which I feel like is like a Jane Austen book.
Yes.
Right.
Pining over someone.
Yes. He is like kind of upset that Mr. Knight like did this to Frances, like, you know, without telling her because she's had a rough life and Mr. Knight was like the reason it's kind of been so terrible. And so then Dr. Gray comes to Andrew, the lawyer, with the idea of the Jane Austen Society, but like, and that they want to like make like a museum and like preserve her legacy through like a nonprofit. And then Andrew's like kind of torn and conflicted because he's like, well, I know that this whole estate is probably going to go to like a random heir who will most likely sell it. So like not sure how this society is going to work, but like wants to like help Frances and like hoping that the society could like persuade people to not do that. So I think he's like willing to like try and help out.
Yes, and he seems very knowledgeable about everything, like how to set it up.
The town lawyer knows everything. Knows all areas of law. We also, I feel like, read a lot of books where there's like wills and like things changing right at the end with like rich people, and I'm like, what the heck? Anywho.
And then there's Evie, who is a maid at the Chawton Manor estate house, whatever we want to call it. So she had to drop out of school to support her family. She's got like a bunch of siblings, and like I think her dad died in the war, and so
Her dad had the tractor accident.
Oh, you're right. That's what happened. Yes,
his legs were like crushed.
Yeah, and then the school teacher Adeline. So Adeline was Evie's teacher and got her into Jane Austen books. Mm-hmm. And when Evie had to find a job, she's like, "Oh, I should get a job here because the Knight household is known to have this big collection of Jane Austen books." And so what Evie's been doing, she lives at the Jane Austen house, house, and every night she goes through the collection of books, like reading them to see if there's any notes or scribbles or anything from Jane Austen. One night she's been doing this for almost 2 years. She's gone through 1,500 out of 2,000 books, and she finds a note, a handwritten note written by Jane Austen that was never mailed. And so it's like a big find. She's very excited. Mm-hmm. But she doesn't want to tell Miss Knight, Miss Frances yet, because she wants to finish what she's doing, mm-hmm. and like she was waiting for like the right time to mm-hmm. let her know about this.
Yeah. And then we have two more characters.
The Americans.
The Americans, which there have been some like snide remarks about the Americans, which is kind of funny. So Marianne goes by Mimi Harrison. She is the one who, in the first chapter came to Chawton and was like crying over the grave. She's now 35. She's like a rich actress from Hollywood, but now she's like old because she's 35. She's like obsessed with Jane Austen. She like buys Jane Austen memorabilia at like auctions. Like she's bought like her jewelry. And the Brits kind of don't like that the Americans are like buying all this stuff and like not keeping it like in England where it should be or where they think it should be. And then her like fiance is Jack Harrison. We learn how they met. He's like a Hollywood producer. He's like super wealthy and is like, I only care about money and like winning at all costs. He must also be based on, I think, like a Jane Austen male character. Mm-hmm. He buys Jane Austen's desk for Mimi at one of these auctions. And he like doesn't get why Jane Austen's so great, but like Mimi's obsessed with Jane Austen. So he's like, whatever, I'll do whatever so I can get her. And he like agrees to produce the movie Sense and Sensibility, which is like starring Mimi and like another young American actress. So yeah, I feel like he's up to no good. He's gonna be a villain, I think.
It's very possible because he might be the one who buys the Chawton house.
Yes, I can see that. Mm-hmm.
And so either him or Mimi, and then there's probably some kerfuffle of who gets ownership and what actually happens there and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, so Jack and Mimi are currently engaged. And
who is your favorite character?
I feel like I don't know yet. They're all like so sad. Like truly so sad. Yeah. Do you have a favorite?
I like Evie.
Yeah. Yeah, she's good.
Yeah.
I don't dislike any of them. Like they're just all going through a hard time, but I don't have like a favorite. Maybe Adam, because he's like, the farmer turned Jane Austen fanatic.
He's kind of boring.
He won't be boring.
Maybe.
It was his idea to form the Jane Austen Society.
He does need some friends, so that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this isn't a lot There isn't like that much to discuss. Like that's,
No.
I mean, truly, like I'm like that's
think
where
there'd
we're
be-
at in the book. There'll be more, but like
It would be more if we also understood, like, I think the Jane Austen references.
yeah.
But I don't know any of them.
Not quite there. Yeah. So, and then one of the lines that Mimi says to Adam is that I would never judge anyone for what they read. Because he was like, I don't read Jane Austen. I read, like, books about adventures and pirate ships and treasure hunting. And she was like, you don't read Jane Austen? She's like, I would never judge anyone for what they read. But then she's like, I guess I did just judge you for not reading Jane Austen.
You judge people, Lydia.
For what they read? No,
Yeah.
I don't. Do you?
No. My husband, Sebastian. Well, I was reading, like, it was a bodice, like, it had a pretty kind of, like, graphic cover. So some of, like, the rom-coms, like, it's, like, a naked man on the front, and, like, he thinks that's a little bit embarrassing to be reading in, like, an airport.
Public space. Yeah.
But, like, I guess that's not, like, shaming me for reading it. It's just more, like, embarrassment that I'm a naked man. And
Maybe for the cover art.
yes.
I did see with Kyle the other day that I noticed there were like more people reading like on the train to work, like reading like physical books too, which I think is interesting. I also would find it very hard to read on the train, but I always like kind of peek and see what they're reading. But I don't like judge them for it. I'm more like, wow, I'm impressed that you're like reading right now on your commute to work. Like, that's cool. So, yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to read if there's a lot of people in the train. And you're
I don't know how people are doing that. Yeah.
and you're trying to hold on. That's not fun.
No. But people do it.
I'm reading someone's book on my phone, and like that's a little bit easier. But
I don't like that. It's so small.
it is small. It's not perfect, but
Yeah.
I'm making it work.
I think we've discussed this before, but do you reread any books?
I have reread a couple books because I need comp books or comparison titles for my query letter, which is basically saying like my book is like this book, but with a twist of this. And so I've had to like read, books people recommend or other books that are like rereading old book, like that sort of thing. But preference-wise, no, I would not be rereading books. There's just so many out there. I don't know. I don't need to
reread?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever like not finish a book?
Sometimes,
Or you like
yeah.
if you start it, like you finish it?
I try to, but there's definitely books where I'm just like, nah, I can't go back to it.
Not worth it.
And I let it go.
Do you ever read a book out of order?
I just did. I just read the third Bridgerton book. I haven't read the first two. But
I meant like
for a book club.
like did you like it?
It was actually pretty good. It was the one with Benedict. It was the new season's based off of.
Oh, okay.
It's like the Cinderella story for those. It's called A Gentleman, something. An Offer from a Gentleman, something like that.
Are you going to watch the season now?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
But do you ever like read the ending of a book first?
Oh, yeah. I definitely do.
Really?
Like, okay, is this like going to get worth it? Yeah. I definitely do.
Oh, interesting. See, I don't do that. I like never ever do that. Why do you like spoiling it for yourself?
I just want to see what happens. If I'm like getting kind of bored, or if I just like, all right, I got this much, I just want to see what happens and go to bed, and then I like finish the rest of it in the morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Huh. Okay. You like spoilers. I don't like spoilers. I'm judging you for how you read your books, not what you're reading. Okay. Is there anything else we need to discuss about the book?
I don't
Like,
think, not right yet.
plot-wise? We haven't
Not
gotten,
yet.
I think, like, to the thick of it. Yeah, we really
Yeah.
it's just beginning.
It was just like introducing us to like 1,000 characters, and
Yeah,
then we have
yeah.
to see
what
like
the
what
Jane
actually
Austen Society is all about here.
Yeah, not much
Yeah.
has actually happened
No.
yet. But I think that's kind of like Jane Austen books where not much actually happens. So
It's just a comment on society in a small town in England in the 1940s. Yes, but I will say, like, the one thing I like about the book so far that I appreciate is like it's a different kind of theme of like community and like friendship and like a group of people who like maybe you wouldn't think be friends like come together over like a common cause or like goal. And I think that's like cute and cozy. So I'm into it.
bonding
Yeah.
over something everyone likes.
Yeah. Mhm. It's simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. Yeah. So
That is true. That is true.
So what are some of your predictions?
All right. I do have some, but because I don't know Jane Austen super well, I could be very far off the mark.
It's okay.
But I am thinking Mimi will buy the house, or Jack might, because he has a lot more money. I don't know how much Mimi has. I mean, Jack's much more wealthy than Mimi, but I don't know how wealthy Mimi is, if she could buy it on her own. And then Frances is going to live in that little cottage because I don't know. Or I do think she's going to end up with Andrew, and then maybe she won't be like homeless. So that might end up okay for her. And then I think
Frances, I agree with you that I think Frances will live in the cottage because she's like afraid to leave the house, so that everyone will come to her to visit the museum. So she doesn't have to leave the house.
There you go. Problem solved. Well, yeah. I mean, she still likes people. She just doesn't like to leave her house.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Dr. Gray and Adeline will bundle up, even though there's like an age gap of like 10 years, maybe. I don't know. They make it sound like Dr. Gray is super old, but I don't know if he's like really that much older than her.
Yeah.
I mean, just the name Gray makes him sound old.
Yeah.
So, but any other? Oh, okay. So, all right. So I can't tell. Jack seems kind of like not a good guy. Is like the vibe. He's like, it's like falling for the bad boy sort of situation is what I'm getting. But I don't know who the good guy is supposed to be. If it's Adam, but I couldn't tell if Adam is the same age as Mimi or if he was the same age as Adeline or Evie. I couldn't tell. The
Evie's
ages,
like a child.
I know, but but there was some comment about like people, like she's like the new, like the girl of the ton, like the it girl of the year, and so like
I think she's like, well, she was like 14 at the beginning, so maybe she's like early 20s now. I don't know.
Okay,
because she was in school at the beginning, and maybe now she's early 20s, something like that. How long was World War II? I don't know. It was like at least 6 years, so yeah. Anywho, so you think that Adam and Mimi are gonna get together?
Sure, yes.
I feel like, yeah, everyone is like getting together, and like Frances and Andrew, the lawyer.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what like happens in like a lot of regions. Like everyone bundles up, like they all just get all match made and happily ever after.
Yeah. So I think that's probably right. That's probably what's going to happen. I do think Harriet, the nurse, is like some sort of villain. Like she's going to spill the... Yeah, she's going to like do something to try to sabotage this society. She's going to get like jealous that she's not like in on it or something like that, or I don't know. But yeah, that's my prediction. And I agree. I also think Jack is like a villain, and he's going to like try to buy it for Mimi, and she's going to be like, no, don't do that. I want to buy it myself. Yeah. Yeah,
because he doesn't understand like doing something for not for money.
Yeah.
Like everything you have to
buy. Yeah, he's like willing to buy Mimi's love kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah, like he doesn't get doing something unless you make money from it. Like just doing something because you love it. So, yeah, I don't foresee those two working out. But
I don't either.
Mimi does like money, so
she likes gifts. That's her love language.
That is her love language, and he's pretty good at buying gifts. So maybe it will work out. I don't know. So yeah. Oh,
that's what we got. What?
That's what we got. So the word of the month for the next month is alter my brain chemistry, and I have a pick that I'm pretty excited about.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
I was doing a little research. I haven't picked my book yet. I'm trying to decide which way I want to go with it. I feel like there's a few ways you could go. Like
Dracula, like a monster brain chemistry.
I was thinking like. Yeah, or like, I don't know. Like drugs.
I picked like a really, like a drug.
I don't know what else alters your brain chemistry. Like something like that.
Got it. Okay. No, I just picked a very popular book is what I did that I haven't read that I've been wanting to read. That's all. I went pretty
that's probably the route I'm gonna go. pretty much the route I'm gonna go too, I think. But I was trying to get like a little creative.
Nice.
So we'll see. Okay. Well, enjoy the rest of your trip in London.
Thank you.
We'll look forward to hearing the updates from that and maybe see some photos. And yeah. Cool. Well, thanks so much for listening to episode 19. Leave us a comment or review. We'd love to connect with you. You can find us on Instagram at letsgetcozybookclub or YouTube, or email us at letsgetcozybookclub@gmail.com. Join us in 2 weeks where we discuss the rest of the Jane Austen Society by Natalie Jenner. Until then, stay cozy.
Woo!